everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Emily and this is Ready Steady Sew. So I'm back with a video. It's been over a year, I think, since I last posted a video on YouTube. So thank you very much if you're still subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you if you are new here. I'd love it if you could subscribe. I'm hoping to get back to posting videos regularly. I don't know how often I will be doing them. I'm aiming for once a week, but it might be once a fortnight. But I'm hoping to post a video either once a week or once a fortnight, a couple of times a month at least. So yeah, please stick around if you're interested on my sewing chat. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I've had a baby. That's the reason that I've not been posting anything on YouTube or regularly, because I had a baby. And when morning sickness hit, I just went off sewing completely. The thought of sewing made me feel sick. So I didn't sew for a long time, for about 6 months. I just didn't want to do any sewing. And then when I felt like sewing, my body shape had completely changed. I had a massive bump. So I didn't want to sew anything that I'd only wear for a month or two, because I didn't think it was worth it. And then I didn't know what size I'd be once I wasn't pregnant anymore. So I just didn't do much sewing basically, and I've got no sewing to talk about, so there's no point making a video if you've got nothing to talk about. But I'm back since she's been born. I've got the itch to sew all the time, so I'm constantly trying to carve out 20 minutes, half an hour, a bit of time in the evenings when I can. So I have got lots of things to show you, lots of things to talk about, and as I say, I'm hoping to be posting more regularly, fingers crossed. You know how life can be. So today's video is all about my plans for 2022. I have done a bit of a make 9, and I have got a few plans in terms of patterns that I want to make, and I have got a sewing resolution. So I'm going to start with my resolution. So because I'm on maternity leave, maternity pay isn't great. So I have no money. I literally have nothing. I only got enough to pay my bills and buy food and the essentials. So my resolution is I am not spending any money on fabric this year. That is a bold statement, I know, and it's something that's very difficult to do, but I have not got the money to do it. I can't at the moment. When I go back to work later on in the year, maybe I'll be able to afford it then, but for the next few months or so, definitely I will not be buying any fabric. Now, there are some exceptions to that rule. I still subscribe to Sew Hayley Jane, so whilst I'm subscribed to that, I will be getting my fabric with her. I get 2.5 meters every month, which is a nice treat for myself. I have also got some vouchers that I got for birthday and Christmas presents, so I am allowed to use them, obviously, because that would be a waste and it'd be rude not to. And also, if I do any collaborations or blog posts for any shops, obviously, and I get the fabric provided, then that is allowed as well. But for the foreseeable future, I am not buying any fabric. Now, over Christmas and New Year, I did do a bit of a sort out of my sewing room, and I think I counted that I had about 70 pieces of fabric. So I think that's plenty. I think it's enough to keep me going for now. So yeah, so I'm not buying any new fabric this year. That is my plan. Okay, so on to my Make 9 for 2022. Now, I'm sure you all know what Make 9 is. It's basically a challenge or a thing where you choose 9 patterns or 9 things that you want to make over the year, and the aim is that you make them in that year. I've taken part in Make 9 for about 5 or 6 years now. And I started by choosing specific patterns, but then I quickly realised that that doesn't work, because what I want to sew changes after probably about March. So I've got a bit more generic. By the way, if I look down, it's because I've got my notebook in front of me and it's got all my things I want to talk about in front of me. That's what I'm doing. So I've done my Make 9, and it is quite generic, and it is kind of to fit around shopping my fabric stash and my pattern stash, because although my resolution is to not buy any fabric, I'm going to try not to buy any patterns. I've not said no to patterns, because sometimes you need a pattern, but I do have a lot of patterns. I must have about 100 when you count up my PDFs and my paper patterns, plus any sewing books and ebooks that I own. I must have 100 patterns, if not more. So although I'm trying not to buy them, I may do, but I'm going to try and shop my stash first. I'm going to look at the patterns I do have. I've kind of made myself a bit of a spreadsheet type thing, so I know exactly what patterns I've got. And when I want a new pattern, I'm going to go and look at that first and think, have I got something that's very similar that would fill the same gap in my wardrobe? And if I have, I'm going to use that pattern that I've got instead. And I have made a bit of a Make 9 of some patterns that I do want to sew up this year that I already own. I'm going to talk about them in a short while. So for my Make 9, it's based around me shopping my stash for patterns and fabric first and basically not spending any money that I don't have to. So my first Make 9 resolution, prompt if you like, is to use up some of my Sew Hayley Jane fabrics. Now I've been subscribed to Sew Hayley Jane for about 18 months and I've probably only sewn up 2 of the fabrics that I've got from her. Not because I don't like them, I do, I've just not got around to sewing them. So what I've done is over Christmas, again, I've pulled out my fabric stash and I've pulled out some bits and bobs that I want to sew up, and I have plans for about 5 or 6 of them in the foreseeable future. I am going to film another video talking about some of my fabrics and plans, so I'm not going to show you those fabrics right now, but I'm hoping to film 2 or 3 videos today, so I've got a few to post over the next few weeks, so I will talk about those in another video shortly. So I'm going to sew up some of my Sew Hayley Jane fabrics this year. That is the plan. Prompt number 2 is to complete some work in progresses. So as you can see behind me here, that is a Shelby dress that I started again about 18 months ago, and then I think I started it when the weather was nice, when it was warm and it was suitable to wear, and then the weather turned horrible. We didn't have a very nice summer, or I just did it the wrong time of the year. And I kind of lost interest in it and I never finished it, but I do want to finish it because I really do like the Shelby dress pattern. I would like to finish it, and I have got some fabric in my stash earmarked for another one if I like it and if it fits me okay. So I plan on finishing the Shelby dress. I've also got, oh, look at my nail, that's awful. I'm having them done I do apologise for the state of my nails. I've also got a Gilbert shirt that I only need to put the buttons and buttonholes on, then that's finished. So I really should crack on with that because that's an easy one. And I've got an Iron Patterns Harry cape that I've literally got to sew one more buttonhole on and then open the buttonholes, and that is it, and then that's done. So yeah, I've got those 3 that I really want to get done. Over Christmas, I went through some more work in progress. I did throw a few out that just weren't filling me with joy, making me happy, but I've saved these 3. I don't have many work in progresses. I don't tend to make things unless I really want them, and I do intend to finish projects when I start them. But yeah, so there's the 3. The Gilbert shirt, the Shelby dress behind me, that's one I definitely want to finish, and my Harry cape is another one that I definitely want to get done this year. Okay, my third prompt is to use a pattern from a book or an ebook. Now I have lots of sewing books. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 10. I'm just looking down there. I've got about 10 sewing books. I've got Name Patterns, Breaking the Pattern. I've got all 3 of Tilly's books. I've got all the Great British Sewing Bee books, and I've got Sew Over It's 3 City Break. Is it City Break? Work to Weekend, The Summer, those 3 ebooks as well. So within them I have got lots of patterns. I have made a few bits and bobs from some of the books. I've made the Sorrento jacket, I've made the Molly top and dress, I've made a few bits from Tilly's books, like the Freya top is a favourite of mine. So I have made things, but there are lots of patterns in those books that I haven't made yet, especially probably the Sew Over It ebooks in particular. There's quite a few things in there that I would like to make and I've just never got around to it. So I intend to sew up a few of those, and there is one of those patterns on my list of patterns that I want to make this year. So yeah, so I want to use some more of my patterns from my ebooks and sewing books. So that's a definite thing to do this year. Number 4 is I want to do some selfless sewing. I don't do a lot of selfless sewing. I'm very selfish. I like to sew for myself, clothes for myself. I don't always enjoy sewing for other people. I think it's because I feel like when I'm sewing for other people, it has to be perfect. I have to follow the pattern exactly. I have to finish it neatly. I have to do everything properly. You know, it has to be to a good standard. And I'm a bit of a that'll do person. If it's for myself, you know, oh, that'll do. It's fine, I'll wear it, no one will ever know. So I think that's probably the main reason why. But I want to do some selfless sewing. Mainly I want to make some clothes for my baby. I want to make some clothes for her because, you know, she's cute. We can make matching outfits, so it'll be super cute. And also I want to make clothes for my boyfriend. I have started on the mannequin behind me. That's a toile of McCall's, is it 6044 pattern? I will check the number of that and I'll put it below what it is, but it's the men's shirt pattern. It's quite a popular pattern. I've seen quite a few people sew it for their partners or boyfriends, husbands. I know Liz, the baker that sews, has made it for her husband. So yeah, it's a toile of that, so I'm hoping I can get, because it's quite tall. My boyfriend's 6'5", so and he struggles to find some clothes that fit, that are long enough for him. He likes them a bit longer, so I'm hoping I can make him a shirt that fits. So that is my plan for that, to do a bit softer sewing, make some clothes for my baby and for my boyfriend. Prompt number 5 is to sew a pattern that I haven't sewn before, that's one in my stash. Now, as I said, I went through my pattern stash over Christmas and had a look at everything I have, and I've got to say there is probably, not counting the ones in books, there's probably at least 20-30 patterns I own that I haven't made yet, so I've got plenty to choose from. As I say, I have done a make 9, or a bit of a pulled out 9 patterns that I would like to make this year that I own already, so I will talk about those after my make 9, but I do plan to sew up some of the patterns that I haven't made yet this year. Number 6 is to use some of my fat quarters. Now, because I subscribe to Sew Hayley Jane, I get 4 fat quarters every month, and at first I was a bit of a loss. What do you do with a fat quarter? Like, you can't make clothes from it, it's not big enough. I'm not a huge fan of making things that aren't clothes, basically. So I was a bit stuck. I was at a bit of a loss as to what to do with them. But in Sew Hayley Jane's magazine, she's started getting Tamlin from Sewing of the Tyne to post tutorials every month in the magazine of things to make, and I've been really enjoying those. It's given me lots of inspiration. I've made one, the book cushion cover. I made one for my mum for Christmas. I'll put a picture in here of it. I've also, in fact, here, these were supposed to be Christmas gifts, but I never actually finished them in time. But I have made some of the face wipes. So I've got a big stash of them in my basket there that I've started and just not made them. I just need to, it's the bags. I've made the actual face wipes, it's the bags I've not made. So I've got those, and I quite like the laptop sleeve that she did this month. I'm thinking I might make one of those, because I did get a new laptop for Christmas. And also I might adapt it and make one for my Kindle. So yeah, I plan to use up some of my fat quarters and make more things with those, because I've got, as I said, I've got a huge pile of them just sat in a drawer, and I need to make things with them. Move on to the next one. Number 7 is use fabric from my stash. I mean, that's my plan for the year. Anything that I make in the next many months will be from my stash. As I said, over Christmas, I think I counted, I had about 70 pieces. Some are in my DStash account that I'm trying to sell, so if you are interested in buying some fabric from me, please have a look in my DStash account. I'll link it below, because I have got a few for sale that I'm not interested in anymore. So if you want some, they're very reasonably priced. Please have a look in that. But yeah, I'm going to be sewing for fabric from my stash. I am going to film a video showing you some fabrics I have got immediate plans for, but I'm going to be sewing up as much fabric from my stash as possible. Number 8 is to use a pattern that I got free with a magazine. I've got lots of patterns free with magazines. Again, there is quite a few for sale on my DStash account. If you want any of those, please go and have a look. But I have got quite a few, and I've got some quite good ones. I've got the Penny Dress by Sew Over It. I got free with a magazine, which I would like to make at some point, and the Anderson Blouse from Sew Over It as well. So they're quite nice ones I'd like to make. I got a Vogue, is it V9075? Hold on, let me have a look so I can find it quickly. Is it in here? No, I don't know where it is. It's in one of my boxes. I haven't got time to go rummaging through them all. But I think it's V9075 jumpsuit or dress I quite like. There's the Ashling Blouse by Jennifer Lauren Handmade. I did get the Mayfair dress by Nina Lee with a magazine. I did sew that up before Christmas, so that was nice. But yeah, I plan to sew up a pattern that I got free with a magazine. And then my final point on my Make 9 for this year is to use one of the Big 4 patterns. I have got quite a few Big 4 patterns in my stash. I bought a few McCall patterns. When was it? It was probably like September, October time. They had a half price sale, so I bought quite a few McCall's patterns. So I hope to sew up some of them shortly. I have got the famous dress, M7, I've seen it, this one, M7969. So, and if you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I have made a start on this. So that is one. that back, sorry for the rustling. That is one, but I have got a few others that I'd like to make. So I've got a couple of simplicity patterns, I've got quite a few McCall patterns as well, so I hope to sew up some of my big 4 patterns this year. So that's my make 9 in terms of my kind of resolutions, my general plans for the year. As I said, I went through my pattern stash and I thought of, well, I pulled out kind of 9 patterns that I've had for a while or I've got in my stash that I've never sewn, and I'm hoping to sew these up this year. These may change. As I said, I've got about 20 or 30 patterns in my stash that I've never made, so there are others I could swap them out for, but here's 9 that at the moment I want to make. I will put a picture of my grid in, and I'll put each individual pattern when I talk about it in here as well. So the first one is by Friday Pattern Company, and it's the Adrienne top. I've loved this pattern for ages. I've got it printed out already on A0. I've got some fabric for it already. In fact, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen that I've already made it. But yeah, that's one that I want to get made up this year. So yeah, so the Adrienne blouse by Friday Pattern Company is one that I'm really keen to make. My second plan is a pattern that I've had for ages. I must have had this pattern pretty much since I started sewing about 7 years ago. It's been out a while. It's a Sew Over It pattern, and it's the carry trousers. I got it because I bought the online class. I bought the Ultimate Trousers, and I didn't have a clue about making trousers. I still don't have a clue about making trousers, but I bought Sew Over It's online class, and with it you got the carry trousers and you got the Ultimate Trousers pattern, because the carry trousers are meant to be a slightly easier trouser to make. They require less fitting. So I've got the pattern. I really like it, and I want to make it. In my head, it looks a bit like what I call traveller trousers. So if you ever go to Thailand or Vietnam, you know, Southeast Asia, you'll see all the backpackers wearing like these, you know, baggy elasticated trousers, and I love them. I've got several pairs. You know, I bought a pair of elephants in Cambodia. When you're there, that's what you do. So I'd like to make myself some trousers, and I am going to use the Sew Hayley Jane fabric to make them, I'm thinking, but I will show you that in another video. But I am planning on making the carry trousers from Sew Over It, and I'm hoping to make them probably the next couple of months, maybe March, April time. My next plan is one that I've only had this pattern for a short while actually. I only bought it just before Christmas because they had a discount on it, and it's True Bias Hudson pants. I've loved these ever since they were first released a few years ago. I mean, jogging bottoms are my thing, especially now I've had a baby and I'm bigger than I was before. They're so comfy. I live in, you know, tracky bottoms. I live in them. I love them so much. And I can't believe I've never ever owned the Hudson pants pattern before. So I bought that over Christmas or just before Christmas. And I hope to make some of them at some point this year. I'm sure I will, because they are something that I'll probably get a lot of wear out of. Hudson pants, they look very much like my kind of thing. So the fourth pattern on my list of 9 patterns I'm hoping to make is the I Am Patterns Merlin coat. And again, I've had this pattern. I think I bought this pattern at the end of 2020, and I'm planning to start sewing it then, or the beginning of 2021, but that was around the time I found out I was pregnant and got morning sickness, so it never happened. I've got the fabric, I've got the lining, I've got the pattern printed out. I just need to make it, and I enjoy making. I'm not very good at making coats, but I enjoy making coats. I enjoy making shirts. I enjoy tailoring. So I'm thinking I might start it soon and just chip away at it slowly over the next few months. I think the only thing that's putting me off starting it is I know you do the welt pocket first, and I've only tried welt pockets once before, but they didn't go that well. So I think it's that's putting me off. So I might have to have a little bit of a practice with some other fabric, just practice making welt pockets. But yeah, I really want to make the Merlin coat. I've got like a lilac wool from Fabric Godmother, which is beautiful, and I want a lilac. I love lilac. I want to make a lilac coat, so I'm hoping to make the I Am Patterns Merlin coat. Start that very soon. I think just chip away at it over the next few months. Knowing me, I'll start it soon, and then it'll be ready for like July, so I won't get to wear it until a few months later, but at least then it's made and I can wear it when it's ready. Number 5 on my list is a pattern that I've loved since it came out. It's a bit different to what I normally wear. I'm not quite sure how you say it. It's Pauline and Alice. Is it the Coeli top? I'll put a picture of it here. It's a really pretty top. It's got lots of kind of not ruffles, but like, are they ruffles on the sleeves, and it's a tie bar. It just looks really, really pretty. So I'd love to make that. I'm not sure what fabric I'm going to make it in yet. I've got loads of viscoses, pretty viscoses in my stash, so I'm sure I can find something suitable. But I would like to have a go at making that top. As I say, it's something a bit different to what I normally wear, and I think it'll have an interesting construction because it's different. You know, it's not a sweatshirt or a jumper or a t-shirt, you know, things I've made before. It's something a bit different, so I'm looking forward to having a go at that. Maybe I might do that near the summer, I think, but definitely would like to make that this year. And then number 6 on my pattern is, again, one I bought recently. I was inspired by Charlene from So So Dressmaking, actually. She made one, and it's Trend Patterns. It's their TPC 22, it's called, and it's the raglan sleeve top and dress. And this top looks lovely. In fact, I'd heard of Trend Patterns, but I'd never really looked at their patterns before. So I went on their website to have a look at this dress and top pattern. I thought, oh, that was quite interesting. That's quite nice. And I was like, oh my goodness, I want all their patterns. They're all quite fashion forward. They're all, you know, on trend, if you like. So I bought the raglan sleeve and top dress. It's supposed to be quite an easy pattern to make. So I'm looking for, I think I'll make the top version first. I'm looking forward to making that though. I've got a leopard print crepe that I think I'm going to have a go at making the top in. And I was also thinking, my plan was to try and make it before Christmas, because I wanted to use, you know, the red shimmery viscose you got in the So Hayley Jane box, for those of you who subscribe. I was hoping to make it in that, so I might do that this Christmas if I like it. So that's the Trend Patterns raglan sleeve top and dress. Okay, on to number 7 of my patterns I want to make, and it is the Alba skirt from the Sew Over It Summer Dreaming ebook. I said I've tried to make this 9 patterns also fit with my Make 9 plan, so I've tried to include like patterns from books, new patterns from my stash, things that I plan on using So Hayley Jane fabrics for. So I've tried to link them all together. But yeah, I'd like to make the Alba skirt from Sew Over It ebook. I've loved this skirt ever since the book was first released. I fell in love with it. I thought it was so pretty. And a wrap skirts, I've made a wrap skirt before. Wrap skirts are quite easy to make. I just don't enjoy hemming them because they can be a bit fiddly to hem. I'm undecided whether or not I'm going to put the ruffle on the edge. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But I would like to make the Alba skirt from Sew Over It, and I'm thinking of using a leopard print viscose for it. But I don't know. I might change my mind. I might use something a bit more subtle, but we'll see. But yeah, the Alba skirt from Sew Over It Summer Dreaming ebook is on my list of things I want to make. The next pattern is also a Sew Over It pattern, and it's one again that I've had for years and years, pretty much since it was released, and it must have been released 4 or 5 years ago, and that is the Eve dress by Sew Over It. I thought this dress, when it first released, this dress I thought was the most beautiful dress ever. It's so pretty. I love the fluted sleeves, I love the dipped hem. Oh, I just thought it was so gorgeous. You could wear it to weddings, to christenings, to parties. You could make it a day dress as well. And I don't know why I've never made it. I've had it printed. I've got the pattern printed out in my stash, and it's just sat there, and I've never ever sewn it up. And I've bought fabric with that in mind several times, and I've never made it. So this year I am definitely going to try and make the Eve dress by Sew Over It. As I said, it's just a beautiful pattern, and I've read really good things. I've heard really good things about it. You know, lots of people rave about it and say how nice it is, and it's quite easy to make. So definitely want to make that this year. I think that would be a lovely addition to my wardrobe. And then the final pattern that I want to make this year is the famous McCall's M7969. Check the number then. M7969. This dress has been everywhere. Everybody has made this dress. I'm very late to the party. It was like the dress of, was it summer 2020? Everybody was making it. I've started it. I've made a bit of a toile version. I will have to make some alterations to the pattern. So I'm not going to make a real version just yet. I'm going to have a bit of time between, because if I have to make alterations, it requires some thinking, it requires effort, and but I would like to make a proper version of it at some point. But yeah, I want to make the M7969, and that is one of my big 4 patterns that I'm hoping to make this year. So that is my sewing plans for 2022. As I said, they're basically all around me shopping my stash, my fabric stash and my pattern stash first. before buying stuff, and I'm definitely not buying any fabric anyway. But yeah, that's my plans for the year. Please let me know what your plans are for the year. Have you made any of these patterns that I've got plans for? Please give me any advice. It's greatly appreciated. Or what are you planning to make anytime soon? Thank you very much for watching. And also, can I just say thank you to the people who sent me messages asking me if I'm okay, where have I gone when I wasn't on YouTube, and the people who sent me presents for India, my baby. Really appreciated. Thank you very much. Such a lovely community, the sewing community. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe this video. I'm hoping to be back more regularly with sewing chat for you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.